I want to go through some of the common marketing mistakes that people make, and you're probably making them, and I know I make them from time to time also, even though I know better, just so that you can more quickly identify them. And I'll also talk about ways to avoid them or to fix them. So we'll start off with number one, doing nothing. So many people are either too busy or intimidated by marketing that they just avoid doing marketing beyond like what the basic you might need to do. Say you've always just taken out local paper ads, or you may have dabbled a bit in social media, or just put up a website that's like a static website, just so that you're online. And that's really common, especially with local businesses that might have a flow of people coming by. But if you were to take on a marketing strategy, it's just going to boost what you already have. And you may not believe that right away, but you must sort of believe that if you do something, it's going to help bring some additional results. Number two, timing is off. So you might be inconsistent. So you might do a bunch of marketing one week and then do nothing for some months or weeks. Consistency is very important because people then start looking out for your messages. So whether it's social media, whether it's newspaper ads or email marketing, getting out there around the same time, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly even. Say you might have a monthly mailing that you send out by email or by direct mail. People will start looking for that. And also that because the internet is just so noisy, the consistency helps to break through that noise because they're like, oh yeah, there's the post that they put up every day, and have some sort of relevant content, and that we will talk about soon. The wrong time of day. So if your audience is busy at work and your message isn't really work related, it might not be something that they're looking out for, you don't want to post during that. You want to be in their stream while they tend to be out, and you probably online, and you probably want to be online at the same time. The wrong time of the month or year, so especially if it's relevant to what you're offering. So say you have an offer that has to do with the weather, and it being so winter, obviously you want to post that when it's more winter related. And also you should understand the buyer's journey. So I have articles about this on the website, and I will put links to that in the posted article about this. But the stages are when they're first realizing that they have an issue, deciding how they want to solve that issue, and then making a decision on a specific supplier. And if you jump in at the wrong stage with the wrong message, it won't be as effective as if you're getting them right at the right time. So you need to have content in your marketing that's suitable to all the different stages. It could be the wrong tone. So number three is wrong tone. So if you don't understand your audience, the tone of your messages might actually put them off rather than engaging and connecting with them. Also, a lack of authenticity. If this also depends on your audience, because you may be able to have just a more funny, sarcastic tone, but authenticity is always going to be important because your customers need to trust you and believe in what you're saying about them or their product and how you can help them. Overcomplicating your message, I am guilty, and I'll say this right up. I often have to go back through all my content to make sure that it's in a language and tone that's most appropriate for my audience. And I get very detailed because that's me, and I understand that that's me, and you probably see this in everything that I do. So sorry for that, but I understand that it is an issue, and I do go back and look through my content and try to make it more suitable to my audience. So that could be another issue with timing, is that you rush things too much and you don't plan. So that's something that we will also talk about. 4, not focusing on your customer value proposition. So very often you're focusing too much on yourself and what you offer, and the strengths of your organization or yourself, that you've been in business for a certain number of years or you've won certain awards. Unless that's really relevant to the need or the want that your customer has, that's not going to connect with them as well. So really just think about engaging and connecting with your audience. You might know how you can do this on an in-person basis if you've been running your business for a while, but you also need to do this with your marketing content, whether it's online, offline. So make sure that you understand your audience's needs and wants, and that you're going to focus on what you offer as a solution to that. And don't post things that are irrelevant to you, or like some people feel that they've got to post something for every like international day. And unless you feel that that's something that's really going to connect with your audience, that could just be wasting your resources. So look about posting what is specifically relevant to your audience and to your business. Not staying well ahead of your direct competitors. Early on in digital marketing, I used to tell people you only need to be one step ahead. But because things can move very quickly, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes of your competitors, they may be planning and really giving a boost to all their marketing, and they could leave you well behind. So you need to make sure you stay a few steps ahead. You need to monitor what they're doing as part of your overall strategy. I don't think you should be overly focused on what your competitors are doing, but you do need to have an eye on it to make sure that you are staying well ahead. Number 6, lack of planning and time management. So like I said, if you're rushing to put your posts out, they're not going to be as effective because you're not going to make sure it has all the key elements. Also, it just makes it hard to be consistent. So you need to have, your overall plan, which would include what times of the week or the month you're going to create and deliver your content, that you're going to monitor your results. These things are very important to do, so you need to actually schedule what I like to call non-negotiable time to do these things. Or you're wasting your time, you're wasting your resources, including money. Number 7, wasting money on activities that aren't done strategically. So whether you're doing it yourself or someone in-house is doing it for you, or whether you're outsourcing it, if you're not being strategic with your marketing, you are wasting time, money, and resources. So make sure that you've got your strategy, which includes budgeting time, budgeting money, because we all know time is money. Overlooking resources that you already have, number 8. You could have experts within your business or your industry that you can tap into. It doesn't all have to be on you. So use the others in your organization and others that you can partner with to help you create content with topic ideas, or to actually write an article or do a video with them. So use all of your resources. Look what else is around you. It shouldn't all just be on you. If you're lucky enough to have that within. And with outsourcing. So you may need to outsource, like I am working with a producer with Regional Radio Group to do my podcasting. So I have a producer and I'm using their studios. So I could very well just do my podcast myself, similar to how I'm doing this. But having that expertise, I know that the audio quality is going to be good. He can edit much more quickly than I can. And also it keeps me accountable. But just make sure that when you are outsourcing, that you have an agreement of what is going to be done, when it's going to be done, and that you have an understanding of what they're supposed to do. And also, if it's important and it is important, but there are certain aspects like of your branding and also of what your strategy is that they'll need to know so that they're keeping in line with that. Some people just blindly let their social media people do posting whatever they think is appropriate. It all has to be in line with your overall strategy, and they need to understand like the tone of your business. So it's important to have all that agreed and laid out up front. So that was number 9 too, not keeping an eye on outsourced marketing tasks. 10, not making strategic partnerships. So I talked about using others, say in your industry or related to your industry, to come up with additional content, but also partnering with them so that they're helping to get your message out further. So whether that's through social media, word of mouth, you might guest post on their websites or in content that they do. You might team up on articles. You might team up on a whole marketing strategy or a whole offering for your businesses, like a package plan or things like that. So definitely include strategic partnerships. Not tracking and reviewing results. And that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. Because you're just so busy doing your day-to-day working and you're getting out some marketing, but if you don't look at the results, you won't see what's working for you and what's not working for you. So obviously you want to see what's not working for you because you need to stop doing it and make changes to get it so that it is working for you. And if you see what is working for you, then that gives you a guideline on that, and that whether you should do more of that or whether you should use those ideas to create new strategies or to fix the ones that aren't working. So you definitely should have your KPIs, your key performance indicators. You're setting goals. You should have specific goals laid out to what you want to achieve with your marketing that's in line with your organization's overall goals and targets, and the KPIs that are in line with that. So whether you're using Google Analytics, your social media analytics that they provide for you, and other ways like how do you track what's coming in from newspaper advertising or radio advertising. You need to look at all of that. Now, if you're paying for these things, especially, because you want to make sure that you're getting a good return on that investment. No calls to action. And that is very common, especially if you're doing videos like this or social media posting. So you should always be directing the visitor, the viewer, whoever's looking at that content to take an action. So whether it's call us now and just have a phone number or click to go through to the website, it needs to be very prominent and upfront. Like in social media posts, when you click to read more, whatever's down below that may not be seen. So right at the top, click here to book, click here for more information, call us, buy now, all of those things, those are calls to action, and people often forget to have them. And that's a mistake I make from time to time, but I'm getting better at it, obviously. Number 13 is focusing either just on digital or just on offline, because that's what you're comfortable with, or just on a specific channel without researching as to where your target audience is. So you need to know where they are. You don't need to be everywhere, because that's another common mistake, is that people spread themselves too thin and they feel they need to be everywhere. You need to do the research and see where is your audience and be where they are. So, and don't focus too much on one over the other. Like your audience may be on multiple social media channels and you may not have the resources to successfully cover all of those. So then focus on what you can do best, but look at whether you're losing out. If, say, you have a lot of people on LinkedIn and you just haven't figured out how to target LinkedIn. So knowledge is very important here. Having no overall strategy. So that's kind of key to all of these issues. If you don't have an overall strategy, you're kind of going blindly throughout all of this. So your strategy needs to include your goals, your KPIs, like we were talking about, audience, identifying your audience, breaking it down into segments that you understand fully about them so that you know the tone to use, the timing, what channels, what content, what are their needs. That is the key, right? What are the needs or the wants? And what is your value proposition? What do you have that you offer that is a solution? And using that in your content, how you're going to use it. And your strategy needs to include your schedule of when you're going to deliver content, but also when you're going to create that content. And in a manner that you can do on an ongoing, consistent basis, because we've noted that consistency is important. And like a good stand-up comedy routine or TED Talk, I put in here, because you know how it is, like at the end, it's like, it came full circle, and it really does seem to sink in better. So that's why your overall strategy has to be using all of your channels and hitting people at the right times of the buyer journey. So whether that's when they're first realizing that they need something or have some sort of issue, to when they start thinking about ways that they can meet that need, and then making a decision and making a purchase. So that's like the whole big journey. And if you can meet them all along the way during those different times of their journey, you're going to engage and connect with them much better and turn them into long-term customers, people that you're going to be working with on an ongoing basis, and those are the best ones to have. And number 15, giving up. Just thinking, this isn't working for me, I don't want to deal with it. So similar to how we started out with doing nothing, with just giving up. Because it takes time. It does take time. It takes consistency to start to really build connection, to see results, to build your audience, to build your community. These things do take time, consistency, a bit of effort. So build your strategy, do the work on a consistent basis, and start to see your results. And if you have any questions, if you want some help, reach out to me at playcentric.com.